Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome. Happy Thursday. This is the Happy New Year. Was last week the Happy New Year? I knew it was New Year's Eve. But this is officially a new year. So it's the Happy New Year 2021 edition episode of Coaching from the Couch. So let everyone get on in. I'm going to introduce myself. I am your girl, CEO CWall. So come on in, everybody. Happy New Year, Jermaine. Happy New Year, Damon. I see Vina, and if I pronounce anyone's name wrong, please forgive me. But I want to make sure I acknowledge as many people as I possibly can. So we're going to get everyone on up in the virtual room for another episode of Coaching from the Couch. You all know I'm itching to get into it. Itching just to get into DC sports, y'all. So ready. Everyone say what's up to my girls Sabrina and Joy. Everyone say what's up to Joy. Joy monitors the chat, and Sabrina is able to be with us this week to help Joy out in monitoring the chat to make sure all of your comments and questions are being acknowledged. So I'm so excited to have both of them on. And everyone say what's up to my mom. My mom is on. She is on. And of course, Cameron Mingo. I know last week we wished Cameron a happy birthday. But Cameron's birthday was on Monday. He gave us some good birthday vibes for these DC teams. So I just want to give everybody a moment to come on up in the virtual room. If you have DC sports loving family and friends, notably the Wizards and the NFC East champion Washington football team, make sure you dial them into this discussion. Got to say what's up to Mike Lyles and to LB. As always, we have a gazillion things to talk about because when is there a dull moment in DC sports? Never. Never a dull moment. First and foremost, we all know that what happened yesterday down at the Capitol in the DC area was a lot. It was traumatizing for many of us to watch and to endure, and may still be traumatizing to many of us. So I have to ask and want to ask and make sure everyone is safe and everyone is well. So I'm praying and hoping that you all are safe, that your families are safe, and that each of you is doing well. Because we're still dealing with the pandemic on top of everything else. So praying for good health for you all as well. All right. So y'all ready? Got a lot to talk about. Lot. So listen. First things first. Before we get into the Wizards and then the Washington football team, I do need to give a shout out to two of our homers. That's what I call them, our home team sports athletes. First and foremost, let's give a shout out to Markel Fultz, who is from the DMV. As you all may have heard, Markel suffered a season-ending injury. He tore his left ACL, and we just want to keep him in prayer. Tough break for the kid. He was already having such a great season. So we want to lift him up in prayer and well wishes for a speedy recovery to Markel. Also, if you all have probably seen this news and heard as well, Kevin Durant's mom, Wanda Durant, posted on her social media asking for prayers for Kevin. He is under a 7-day quarantine. He was exposed to a positive case of COVID-19. He is still continuing to test negative, praise the Lord. So he would be able to be back in action, I think, by Sunday. So prayerfully, he continues to test negative. Prayerfully, whomever he was in contact with, hopefully they are recovering and getting well. So shout out to KD as well. So, we always got to do our announcements first and let everybody know, this is a DC Sports Talk show, but we also acknowledge our home team athletes as well. So wanted to give a quick shout out to them. Now, Wizards fans, Wizards fans, you are up first. Check in. I need the Wizards fans to check in. Where are you, Wizards fans? So last week, if you all recall, I came in here hot last week, y'all. Piping hot. It was New Year's Eve. The Wizards had just finished playing the Chicago Bulls. My big brother Dervin checking in. He know what's up. He know what the type of time the Wizards were on last week. And I was not feeling it. We were able to come on the virtual couch and check in right after seeing the Wizards go down to the Chicago Bulls. And I was hot. I asked everybody last week, and I hope you all are subscribing to the CWall podcast on YouTube that I have the pleasure of doing every week with 3 other of my Wizards media colleagues. And I had shared last week, I'm hitting the panic button. Panic. Okay? And we talked about that. It was just confusing. The Bulls were a depleted team. They weren't even playing all their guys. And the Wizards just lost. All right. Then the next night, because we always got to go through this past week in sports, y'all. So then the next night, they play a depleted Timberwolves team. They got their first win of the season. Of course, it was the first day of the new year. So we're okay. Maybe they are doing a little bit better. Okay. Now, again, the Timberwolves were depleted. 2 of their starters weren't playing. So as far as I was concerned, the Wizards did what they were supposed to do. And that's fair. But then let me move. Sunday, because I always get confused on what day I'm on. That was Friday. Sunday, they played the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant and Kyrie. So I said, okay, here we go. Then I was watching the game. I'm going to be very honest, because that's what we're here for, right, y'all? This is what we're here for. We're here to be honest with each other. I said to myself, the Nets don't look all that good. Now, I hadn't watched the Nets play since Christmas. And on Christmas Day, they were like that, as far as I was concerned. And I said, they don't look all that good. Okay. Wizards were able to pull it off. So we're like, hey, listen, very similar to Friday. Let's good team win. Let's celebrate. It's a good thing. They did what they were supposed to do. Thomas Bryant had a great game. Rui was doing well. Brad is always going to show up. Always going to show up. And exactly what Cameron Mingo was saying, it's obvious to me that the Nets are missing Spencer Dinwiddie. But again, we're in a situation where, hey, listen, whoever the best team is on the court right now, you play it out. That's what we're dealing with. So then this week on CWall podcast, we asked ourselves, do we think the Wizards are turning the corner? And I said yes. I said, because here's the thing that feels really good about the Wizards. If you all watch any of the press conferences, not just Scott Brooks, but the players as well, they are very positive about this team. They are very confident in their ability. And while their record does not reflect that, they are always very confident in their abilities. They are excited, and they enjoy playing together. Are they frustrated by the losses? Absolutely. No one hides that. They're very transparent about it. But they don't hide the fact that they have all the confidence in the world in each other. They do. Brad has said it. Russell Westbrook has said it. Thomas Bryant has said it. Denny has said it. They've all said it. Rui has said it. They've all mentioned knowing that they are better than the record reflects. And I get that. I understand that. I'm with that. Right? And I hope you all will follow me on this one, Wizards fans. Then, here comes last night. Last night, yesterday was Wednesday. The Wizards playing the Philadelphia 76ers, and the 76ers are hot right now. They look good. They're playing well. But I'm figuring, hey, look, they played them. They'll be ready. That first half was atrocious. And let me just jump right on into my takeaway from last night's Wizards game. And I'm so glad you're here, Steven, to join this Wizards conversation. Bradley Beal scored 60 points. And they lost. I said, oh no. And I was saying it. I said it at halftime. Bradley Beal was the only one in double digits. Right? And he had 32 points at the half. At the half. I think Thomas Bryant and Russell Westbrook both had 9 points each. And then Rui had like 5 points. Rui did not have a good game. And I was saying to myself, if they lose this game, because I said Brad is going to keep scoring. I already knew. I said Brad is hot. He going to keep scoring. And I tell you what, if he keeps scoring, not they, but if he keeps scoring, and they lose this game, then I knew something was off last week when I hit that panic button. I know when I'm hitting the panic button. I know what the panic button entails and what I'm implying when I'm hitting the panic button. So I'm glad I hit that panic button last week, because yesterday I said, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is an issue. Because you have your star player, the one that everybody says this is his team, and I okay, that's fine. 60. And you lose. And I said, Now, Brad admittedly, stated in the press conference that he was pissed off, as he should be. And there's no, let's be clear. I don't think anybody should take anything away from that other than he was pissed off. I mean, you score 60 points and you lose. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm hot. We got an issue. Okay? We got an issue. We got a problem. But one thing that Brad said when he closed out his press conference last night, he was like, well, guess the first team that plays defense wins the game pretty much. I'm with you, Brad. The first team that decides to play some defense is going to win the game. Because here's the reality. Yes, and I hear Scott Brooks. I hear him, and I sat in on him one of his press conferences again today, and he's still talking about how well the 76ers played, and they're the hottest team in basketball right now, and they were still able to score points, and how that should be a positive. He also mentioned that today in practice, they didn't do a lot of actual on-court practicing. They were watching a lot of film. And that's all well and good. But they have Boston, they have the Celtics tomorrow. They have Miami on Saturday. They have Phoenix on Monday. And that's just the next couple games. Because, I just try to focus on the next couple of games, right? Nobody wants to score 60 points. Nobody cares. Like Brad says it. It's like, hey, look. Yeah, I scored 60 points, but Brad said it. I don't care. We lost the game. That's what I care about, and I'm with him. you know? And exactly what Mike just said, this is a tough stretch. Absolutely. That's a tough stretch. That's why I had to say it out loud. So that's why I'm talking to you all. I'm thinking it through like, it's a tough stretch. Very tough stretch. The consistency, the chemistry, it has to be found somewhere. You know, I always have to give credit where it's due. Thomas Bryant has done some good things. But we want to continue to see those good things. Again, I'm going to mention Rui did not have a good game yesterday at all. And I was like, dang, well, what happened to Rui? And they started to surge late in the game. The team did. But you still didn't come up with the W. And it's still a little bit of, again, 60 points and an L. I don't know. And that's not good. And I'm going to go back to the point that Tommy Shepard wanted everyone to know, which was they were trying to build a team to compete now. We've heard rebuilding. But one message that Tommy Shepard was saying loud and clear, you know, and this is definitely like right after the trade happened, they want them to compete now. They don't look competition ready, and that's why it's hard to get excited when you do see good things. I'm gonna be happy for the 2 wins that they have. I'm gonna be really happy, but that can't feel good. Your star player scores 60 and you still lose. There needs to be some consistency. One thing that I'm trying to accept, because Andre, I see your comment here about being off the panic button, and my thing is this: Scott Brooks is who he is. And I want everybody to say what's up to Becca. She is one of the co-hosts of the Triple W podcast. And Becca, I was just telling everybody what Brad said on the press conference last night. Whoever the first team to play some defenses win. That's who's going to win. That's absolutely correct. And historically, if we're looking at Scott Brooks, I'm going to at some point get over my challenges with Scott Brooks. Just bear with me, everybody. I'll get over my issues with Scott Brooks at some point, because he's a very, very nice man. But let me just tell you, most of his teams weren't great defensively. That's just not something that's just not a strong suit of his, obviously. But something's got to give, because okay, they can score. Go right on point. You can score, but you got to play some defense in there, or else it will continue to be demoralizing, in my opinion, demoralizing losses like that. Or a fourth quarter meltdown. Did we see a fourth quarter meltdown? No. But you also had your star player score 60 and still lose. That's the problem. That is an issue, and I feel some type of way about that. My point is, I feel some type of way about it. I don't like it. So there's that. Update on Russell Westbrook. He did dislocate his finger late in the game yesterday. It was not a definite answer on whether or not he will play tomorrow and Saturday. So with that being said, that's one thing to keep in mind, that he did dislocate his finger. The other thing to keep in mind is whether or not they will still rest Westbrook for these back-to-backs, which you all know I have a challenge with that mindset. Yes, I understand that that's what they did in Houston, but at the same token, when you have a losing record, I think that needs to be reconsidered. So I will leave that there. Again, no definite answer yet on whether or not Westbrook will play tomorrow and the coming games with his finger situation. Yeah. And, of course, the back-to-back things. Because, of course, if he's not playing back-to-backs, there's a strong possibility that even if he plays tomorrow against the Celtics, then he wouldn't play against Miami. Now, with his finger situation, they may not play him tomorrow and hold him out until Saturday. So, And I'm starting to think through the whole notion around resting him. Listen, if he's the point guard, if this is who on the floor, this is who the team is supposed to run through, we need to build some chemistry and some consistency. And I'm not real clear on how that can happen when he's not in game. You know, I'm just not real clear on that. And I'm not an advocate for that message. I'm not an advocate for the rest message when you got a losing record. So remains to be seen what happens with that. I see your comment, John Adams, huge DC sports fan too. Take the finger up and play. I'm with you. I'm with you 1,000%. All right. In the remaining time left, where are my Washington football team fans? Where are all the Washington football team fans? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Check in. Washington football team. Or shall I say, where are the fans of the 2020-2021 NFC East champions? Where are you? Where are you? Check in. And while you all are checking in, let's just do some announcements. You all are checking in. I see you. Just a couple of announcements. Brandon Sheriff won the Ed Block Courage Award for Washington. Every team gets to choose a player from their team to win this award. And just so you all know what the Ed Block Courage Award is, it's given annually to a player from each team who displays extraordinary courage in the face of adversity. Last year's winner was Alex Smith from the team. This year's winner is Brandon Sheriff. You all know that he missed the last 5 games of last season. He missed 3 games this year, but has since been starting. We got to say what's up and a shout out to Brandon Sheriff, everybody, for winning this great award. Your team is who nominates you in votes for the player to represent them in having this award, and Brandon Sheriff received it. So that's great. He be out there banged up and he still play. So I understand totally why his teammates thought so highly of him. His teammates and his coaches thought so highly of him and wanting him represented for this award. So congratulations to Brandon. Chase Young, another homer. He's from the DMV, named the NFC Defensive Player and NFL Defensive Rookie of the month of December. So that's the NFC Defensive Player and the League Defensive Rookie of the month for December. That is what's up. That is what is up. So we got to say a shout out. So we got to do shout outs. Brandon Sheriff, Chase Young, and oh, by the way, because we always got to talk about what happened in the last week. So what else happened this week was Chase Roulier. The Washington football team signed center Chase Roulier to a 4-year extension. That's $40.5 million. $19 million of it guaranteed. They locked that in last Saturday. So, congratulations to you, Chase Roulier. And sometimes, listen, Chase Roulier, sometimes now when I hear Chase, I think Young, and I just feel like we're blessed, Washington football team fans, to be able to give a shout out to both of them this week. So, congratulations to them all. And look at you all. You comments, y'all are hyped for this conversation, huh? You guys are ready for this conversation. Yeah, they won. They won the NFC East. I see that Sherrod checked in, lead sports writer for CWall Sports and Entertainment, who called it. I told you guys last week, who called it that Washington would win the division. Many of you said, yes, Washington will win the division. And it was ugly. It was far from glamorous. But isn't that kind of the storyline of this team, though? All of it is kind of ugly. I mean, this team would pick, in the top 5, top 2, second draft pick in Chase Young. So we were able to cash in on a beast like Chase Young out there. And Ron Rivera's first year as head coach, with so much going on, I feel like the wins are almost symbolic of just the muck, right? The end of last year, what happened? Jay Gruden got fired. Remember the end of last regular season, we were dealing with the Bruce Allen firing. Almost every single coach was fired or let go. Ron Rivera comes in. Everybody's dealing with the pandemic. Everyone across the whole entire league dealing with the pandemic. So then we find out right before the season begins that Ron Rivera has shared that he has cancer. The quarterback situation, they have now played 4 different quarterbacks in one regular season. So it's like almost symbolic. And then it's like, Alex Smith goes, a lot of, look, Alex it gets real ugly with Alex out there sometimes. But, hey, listen, his teammates voted for him to be a captain of this team. Again, so very symbolic of just the comeback nature of this team. It looks bad, and somehow they just end up in the W column, and you're like, hey, listen, I'll take it. Definitely take it. And I can't even complain. 7-9, can't even complain. The team doesn't, that's right, Chief of DC, the team doesn't have a name. The team doesn't even have a name. And I thought it was so cool. And I remember when this interview was happening and Ron Rivera was like, when someone was asking about them not having a name, and Ron Rivera, they asked him, I think the question was, but do you all have an identity? I mean, because what's your name? And he was like, yes, we do. We're the Washington football team. I'm like, hey, well, he's right. That is a name. That is a name. Nothing about this has made logical sense. But the team comes out there and they play for each other absolutely all the way. Again, Chief of DC, in the background, it's everything that's going on with Dan Snyder. That looks completely, it just all sounds bad. Somehow, on Sunday, they got it done. They got it done. And I'm going to tell you all a story. I want to tell you all. I got a phone call Sunday morning from one of my colleagues in the industry. And they said, I have some good news for you for a change. And I said, okay, cool. Oh, good news. Thank you. That's good. Good. I like to hear it. And what was shared with me was, and this is understanding, Alex is injured. We all know this. Alex Smith, he's injured. Terry McLaurin, injured. Antonio Gibson, injured. But everybody that said that they could play, everybody was playing on Sunday. They said they were leaving it all out on the field and they were going to do whatever they could to win on Sunday. They weren't going out on the injury report. They were like, no, we're playing. We are playing. And could Alex move out there on Sunday? No, not for the entire game. Antonio Gibson looked like he was having a little issue as well, right? Terry looked fine for the most part to me. But in the back of my mind, I kept hearing the story of these guys said that they were playing. And their teammates were like, are you sure? We playing. Let's go. We're playing. And that's all you can expect. That's a game like that. You go out there. You leave all of it on the field. And that is what they did. I have to share that with you all because it's important. And I feel like there's always so many grim and bad stories that come out from this team. So when you hear something positive, when you hear a team that's energized, that wants to play, that wants to wear the burgundy and gold, that says, I'm gonna go out there. If my leg fall off out here, that is what it is. But you know what? I want to be a part of this, and I want to win this football game. Hey, listen, let them ball. All right. Who am I to say, he can't play? Nope. Go ahead on, young man. Go right on ahead. And guess what? Here we are. NFC East Division champs with an opportunity this Saturday night playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here down the road at FedEx Field to Randall Martin's Point, the 85 South Washington football team fan club just said it. Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm here for it. I'm here for the opportunity. I'm here to see how they respond. The world will be watching. Y'all see my mom commented down there. She said, I will be watching. That's right, Mom. You will be, along with everybody else. Because for one, it's Tom Brady. Everybody wants to watch Tom Brady play. And here's the other thing. Everybody is always waiting for Tom Brady to go down. Is it just me? Now, hey, listen. I have nothing bad to say about Tom. Tom is the GOAT in my book. Tom is amazing. And hey, look, but everybody's always watching. Why? Why? Here's what I shared on the Triple W podcast with my girl Becca and our other colleagues. I said my song for this week that I'm vibing to is Alicia Keys' Underdog. The Washington football team has been playing as the underdog the entire season. Entire season. They're the underdog on Saturday. Everybody's an underdog. Everybody. Did you all watch that hype video that came out? And they said, who is the wide receiver? Who is the tight end? Nobody knows. Nobody cares. Alex Smith, listen, there was a strong possibility the man was going to die. You still going up under center? And I'm going to go ahead and say this from the CWall perspective. Alex picked up where he left off. The team was in first place when he got injured in 2018. So I don't know if that resilience, a part of him said, I got to go back out there and I got to give this team, I owe it to them. They deserve it. We getting this. At the very least, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to help you get to this division. Now, I saw your comment, Mike, about sitting Alex. Hey, listen, I don't know what they're going to do. Alex we all saw it. He had mobility issues out there. We all know this. We all saw it. The team knows it. Everybody knows it, you guys. So it's not a secret at all, right? Heinicke, get him out there. Heinicke, I don't know if you all were able to see it today in the press conference. He had a hilarious story about his first time meeting Tom Brady when Heinicke was signed to the practice squad in New England. Hilarious story. And he just talked about how just in awe he was of Tom being able to read defenses so quickly while watching the film. Mind you, what was so funny to me was that when he walked in, Taylor Heinicke said it was like 5:15, 5:30 in the morning. He's thinking that he was going to be the first person in the building. When he walked into the film room, Tom Brady was already in there. Tom Brady had no idea they even signed a quarterback to the practice squad. Tom Brady looking at him like, who are you? Who's this guy? Taylor has to introduce himself because Tom legit did not know who he was and did not even know he was on his team and was like, oh, okay, well, you can come on and sit and watch this film with me. He won't forget that experience. And guess what? If they win on Saturday, he won't forget that experience either. Huge opportunity. Are you all hyped? I'm hyped. I'm hyped just for the opportunity. I'm hyped just for the opportunity, the underdog. That has been the entire, like I said, the ugly games. It's been ugly, but who won? At the end of the day, who won? The Washington football team did. Okay. So if that's what they doing, I'm not mad at them. I don't think, here's what I think. This is not what I know, here's what I think. I think that Alex would not be a liability on Saturday. I think he is well aware, that if my leg isn't right, if my calf isn't right, Taylor, you got this. You're okay. Maybe they let him start out the game, but don't let him finish the game. I don't know. He's listed as questionable on the injury report. I posted that injury report on the CWall Sports and Entertainment page, and if you follow me on Twitter, I posted it there as well. So he's still questionable. Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, they're all questionable. Same thing from last week. They got a huge opportunity. And let's go ahead and talk about it. We have to. Chase Young sharing that he wants Tom. Of course he does. That was not a slight to Tom. It wasn't anything. Nobody is slighting Tom. That comment definitely got a bit overhyped. But it's real. He has so much energy. That kid has great energy, and that kid has the right type of energy that this team needs. So I welcome that type of energy. I welcome it. And he's excited. I mean, his job is to sack the quarterback. So yeah, I mean, that's his opponent on Saturday. Yeah, he won him. You sack him a few good times. We would all love to see that. But Tom Brady is who he is. That, when we're talking resilience and grit and work ethic, Tom Brady is right up there on the list of the players that you want to emulate when you are trying to get in game mode or when you're trying to excel in any part of life. His study habits and his work ethic, tremendous. I'm sure everybody looks at him as someone who they want to emulate and model their game after and how they approach life and how they approach business. So I think that's phenomenal. But of course he wants Tom. That's what he do. Lay off the kid, Yeah, true. I heard Bruce Arians said, well, be careful what you wish for. Well, yeah. I'm sure Chase knows that, but the kid gets so excited that it's hard not to be excited with him because he's so excited. I was also told, he said Chase be out there, sometimes you can see it on the mic'd up. If you see any of the mic'd up series or anything, they said Chase just be out there talking. He's just talking all day. He don't care if somebody listening to him or not. Most times people are listening to him. But other times he's just talking. He is hyped the whole entire time. He can't get enough of the game. And that's what you got to love. You got to love that about this kid. And it's transcending across the locker room. That's good. That's good energy. These are the storylines we need to continue to share and continue to focus on because it's been so long since we've heard these good nuggets. Right, you guys? It's been a long time since we've heard these gems and these good nuggets of just respect and teaming and excitement. They got a chance. They got a real chance. At this point, everybody's 0-0. The playoffs is a whole new ball game. So, hey, Let's see what happens. Bold predictions. Bold predictions, bold predictions, bold predictions. I think I've already seen some this week. I've seen folks say 24-17 Washington football team. I see Mike already, 24-21 Washington football team. Here's the reality. If Washington can keep them, Washington's defense can keep them under 20 points as they have with others of their opponents, then I mean, hey, they can get that offense going. Because I'm going to tell you something. At some points, I'm like, I don't know how they just scored. The Washington football team offense, they'll score, and in the next series, they'll look like I don't know where they are. I don't know if they even know where they are. But they there. They there, and they be ready. So, Joy said 21-3. Oh, yeah, you got to give shout out to Allen and Payne. They listen. They're doing what they're supposed to do. The first rounders, because I call them the first round committee. The first rounders, they doing what they're supposed to do. It has come together. Damon says 2 sacks by Chase and a forced fumble. Liddell says Washington wins by 3. Becca, yes, Wizards win and a Washington football team win on Saturday. That would be good. I could deal with that. Because it'll be like it was on Sunday, this past Sunday, when the Wizards won and the Washington football team won. I would be all in on that. Because that felt good on Sunday. That felt really good. Cameron, Chase Young sacks Brady 3 times and gets an interception. Whoop, my mom is going, she got a lot of faith. That's a bold prediction, Mom. She has a lot of faith in the offense. She said it's going to be 35-14, Washington football team. Listen, you guys, get excited. Get excited. Get hyped. If I'm hyped, it's okay for you to get hyped too. Sometimes y'all hype me, but today we all hype together. We'll pull an upset on Saturday. Seriously. They're going to pull an upset. And that's going to be something because here's the reality. People want to see Tom Brady lose. Everybody knows he's the GOAT, but folks will tune in. People are going to watch that game because they are anticipating Tom Brady losing. So they're going to watch. They're going to tune in. They want to see it. They're going to love to see it. The Washington football team will mess around and have a whole slew of new fans on Saturday just to see Tom Brady lose. It's the truth. You guys, we made it another Thursday. Made it another Thursday. The question is, when we come together next Thursday, will the Wizards be in better shape? And will the Washington football team continue their quest for a playoff run? Let's see what happens, you guys. Let's see what happens. So everyone continue to be safe. Wear your mask. Be well. Prayers up to you and all of your families. Listen, exciting times in DC sports. But I will see you guys next week.